Hello, everyone. My name is Katie Fenn, and I'm the CEO for the BC Recreation and Parks Association. And with me today, I have 4 candidates for our 2025 to 2027 board election. And I'm pleased to let them introduce themselves by sharing a bit about themselves and a fun fact. So go ahead, Jill.
Hi, my name is Jill Lawler, and I am the great-granddaughter of James Savard, who is a strong advocate for the well-being and quality of life for his people of the Wabanam Nation in Alberta. I'm currently serving my first term as a director with the BCRPA, and I'm privileged to be the senior manager of parks in West Vancouver. In this role, I'm responsible for stewarding the beautiful traditional, ancestral, and unceded lands of the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh nations. And like my great-grandfather, and like all of you, I'm dedicated to improving the quality of life through parks and recreation. Fun fact, I live off the grid at a summer camp on Gambier Island about half the year.
Thank you, Jill, and we'll pass to Mary.
Thanks, Katie. Thanks, Jill. My name is Mary Morrison-Clark, and I'm the General Manager for Parks, Recreation and Culture for the City of Burnaby. And I am having this meeting on the traditional territories of the Hunkaminam Squamish-speaking peoples. I'm very grateful to have this meeting on this territory. A fun fact about me that I will share is I know all 1980s and 90s TV show theme songs. So try me out at the symposium. I know them all, from Gilligan's Island to Love Boat, you name it, I know the theme song. As a kid, I grew up in a single parent household. The TV was my babysitter, and that's its lasting effect on my life.
Thank you so much, Mary. I'll pass to Steve.
Thanks, Katie. My name is Steve Kanoki. I am currently the director of the Parks and Recreation Department for the Esquimalt Township. And Esquimalt actually is on the traditional lands of the Songhees and Coast Sachsen Nation. And I actually grew up on Vancouver Island. I've been living there my whole life. I've been a BCRPA member for over 24 years as well. An interesting fact about me is I was on a reality TV show in 2005 where I rode my bike around Spain with my brother. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Steve. And I'll pass to Tia.
Thank you. My name is Tia Whaling. I was actually raised in the Lower Mainland in Port Moody, BC, but for the past 20 years, I've proudly called Creston my home, where I've been working for the Regional District of Central Kootenay, managing regional programming opportunities for Creston, Nelson, Castlegar, Salmo, and Slocan Valley. I've also been teaching fitness as a BCRPA group fitness instructor for the past 15 years. My fun and interesting fact is that I am a mother to two very energetic twin boys, which is something I was not really prepared for and has been quite a wild ride. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Okay, so our next question for all of you is why you want to be on the BCRPA board and the priorities you hope to address during your time on the board. And we'll go back to Jill.
I'm passionate about the impact that Parks and Recreation and the essential role that our sector plays in health, well-being, and community building. I've seen firsthand how Parks and Recreation and active living transforms lives, whether it's accessible outdoor spaces, community programming, or opportunities for physical and social connection. Serving on the BCRPA would allow me to advocate for our sector, strengthen collaborations at a provincial and federal level, and ensure that the Parks and Recreation remain recognized, valued, and well supported. We're at a pivotal moment where our work is increasingly acknowledged as critical to preventative healthcare, social inclusion, and even climate resilience. I want to continue to amplify our sector's voice and work alongside the dedicated professionals to elevate our strategic outlook, tackle challenges, and create a lasting positive change. The BCRPA has the power to shape the future of Parks and Recreation in British Columbia, and I'd be honored to represent the voice of our members and drive that vision and our strategic outlook forward. Thanks.
Thanks very much, Jill. And we'll pass to Mary.
Thank you. I'm currently a member of the board, and I've enjoyed it. It's my very first term, so I'm putting my name forward to be on for a second term. We have a phrase that we use in Burnaby. The reason we exist is that we make life better. And part of how we make life better, how BCRPA helps make life better, is we support professionals, and we support professionals in this essential work that we do every day in our communities. And something I am most passionate about is this essential work in supporting professionals is that we also can't leave the most vulnerable in our communities behind. And so that is something I'm very passionate about and a voice that I bring to the board as we all make life better.
Thank you, Mary, and I'll pass to Steve.
Thanks, Katie. So, like you all, I've been working in the industry for a long time, and throughout COVID, I reconnected with a lot of support and mentorship through the community. It was an incredibly tough time, and many of our facilities and many of our areas in the province are still recovering. And I think the big question I have is, how are we doing, and what did we learn? And I think for me, that really helps me chart a path forward. I took a lot away from developing our staff, recovering when we were down in our toughest times, what worked well and what didn't work well. I've got a 25-year capital plan that I'm working on right now, and I'm looking at an arena that's over 65 years old. And now I'm thinking, what does it look like to have a 100-year-old arena, and how do they operate? And if you Google it, there's lots of arenas that are 100 years old. So for us, it's what's next. There's a lot of pressure being put on us. Costs continue to escalate. And every day I'm dealing with these challenges, which is how do we keep our staff, motivated? How do we keep them in the sector? And how do we plan for the future? So my goal, and the reason why I'm so interested in being a part of the board, is I want to have those discussions, and I want to find out, what else is happening, and I want to share and give back. And that's one of the main reasons why I'm here. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. And Tia, over to you.
Thanks so much. So after nearly 20 years of experience in recreation, I've seen firsthand how rural communities are hurdled with limited access to resources and especially skilled professional staff. So on the board, I would love to be able to have the chance to prioritize access to industry best standards. I want to ensure all communities have the tools they need to succeed. So smaller communities often do not have the resources nor the skilled staff to help map out how best to develop and progress their organization within the recreation industry. We already do this quite well through BCRPA, but I know we have the ability to do more and do better. So making it even easier to guide them towards the leaders of the industry that provide good communication around best practices like clear standards, mentorship, funding guidance. Our rural services are certainly not equal in the level of service compared to larger centers, but having a voice on the board to advocate for not only rural communities, but also this eastern side of BC means that their unique needs are considered on a provincial level so that we can all excel in providing quality, barrier-free recreation opportunities. So I'm hoping to help add to the steam ahead that this already moving train has, to ensure that whether we're urban or rural, all communities can continue to provide access to high quality rec services and be a contributor to both physical and mental well-being of individuals. Thank you.
That was fantastic. Thank you, all four of you. So we'll move on to our final question. And for those of you that have hung on to watch the videos till now, you're in for a treat as we wrap up, because the last question is, what would you answer the biggest trend or tip that you would share with someone on recreation and parks in BC? And we'll start with Jill.
Essential. As a sector, we change and improve lives every day, whether it's that drop in cortisol level that you feel as you take a walk in the woods, or it's that rush of endorphins that you have after an energetic fitness class, the joy of building friendships over parent and taught, maybe laughter over the pickleball net. These experiences aren't just recreational, they're essential. They're essential to our health, our happiness, and our overall well-being. Parks and recreation isn't just a luxury. It is fundamental to our public health, our social connection, thriving communities, and even our climate resilience.
Thank you, Jill. And we're over to you, Mary.
There we go. I'm going to offer 2 tips for professionals in PRC. And that would be stay curious, never let the status quo take hold. always be curious, ask all the questions you can. And number two, network, make a friend, reach out. Everyone is going through such similar things. Use BCRPA to build your network, make your connections. Tia, you're on my list now because I grew up in Nelson and I'm going there this weekend. So I'm sure, Tia, I'll be reaching out to you. So any chance you can to make a connection and build your network and stay curious, that's my advice.
Thank you, Mary. Over to you, Steve.
Thanks. I would just say that one of the challenges going forward will be how to increase value in our services and how to make sure that we stay relevant. There's so much pressure being put on our budgets, and there's so much pressure being put on our services. So I would say that the value that's added through our staff, basically through partnerships, looking at creative ways to provide more service, things like joint use agreements, and just looking at outside the box where we've traditionally had strong silos. Maybe it's time for us to look at different areas that we can expand to. But I would definitely say that our staff values are changing, and the future of Parks and Rec does belong in the hands of a new generation. So listening and supporting, that's my advice.
Thank you, Steve. And over to you, Tia.
Thank you. So I'm going to speak on a trend that I have noticed. So becoming more prevalent in today's economy is the tightening of available funding, which actually has led to a new level of creativity and connection between one another and within the industry. Today's technology has brought people, even on a worldwide scale, together to show their wins and successes and how they've made recreation work in their area. This budget crunch has pushed us to develop even more cost-effective and more innovative and multi-purpose ideas, as well as the formation of unique and strategic partnerships, all still while staying committed to maintaining idea principles and the health and welfare of everyone in their communities. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much. So a big reminder to those of you watching to not just watch this video, but to actually vote. So you have this video, and then you have the other candidate video to review, and please do take action after hearing from your candidates and submit your votes. And a big thank you to all four of you today for your contributions and for putting yourselves forward. We're really grateful and for your leadership in doing so. And we will wave goodbye to the folks online.